Why does Tommy never live in a regular apartment, by the way? Tommy never lives in a regular just apartment. It's always a loft with like bare space. I don't know. Maintain it, safe to say the kid get older. Forever gang, I'm never switching over. Made a lane and niggas can't get over. I can't mess with rappers, they be bogus. Rather get the pack and keep it open. Alright, what it is, what it do, it's your boy Dapper back with another reaction video just for you. I get it, yes, I've been gone. And honestly, I already know the YouTube algorithm is going to shoot me in the foot because they reward consistency, and this wasn't consistent. I've been gone. But honestly, what better way to come back than to hop in with episode 7 of season 2 of Power Force. This one had a lot going on in it. A lot of heads turning, a lot of loyalty, being tested and things of that nature. So I'm excited to hop into it. So before we get into that, just make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. And if you want to leave a comment, or you should leave a comment. Actually, I'm not even asking. Leave a comment, whatever it is, whether it's about the show, about what I said, so on and so forth, anything. But let's get into it. All right, obviously you're going to start with the man of the show, Tommy Egan, the most wanted man in Chicago. And again, I still don't understand how you're this wanted and just be out and about in public. I mean, I guess, I guess when they don't have anything legally on you, I guess you can do what you want to do. But to be this free and out and about is incredible to me. But we see the show starts off. This whole episode starts off. He's with Maria, and he gets a surprise pop-up from Miguel. Miguel's an important character in this episode, and we'll talk a little bit more about him as we go through the characters. But, you know what I'm saying? Miguel's kind of in a weird spot. And because Tommy knows Miguel's in a weird spot, because he's making Miguel so much money, Tommy's able to, first of all, hide Maria in his little condo apartment situation, loft situation he has. Why does Tommy never live in a regular apartment, by the way? Tommy never lives in a regular just apartment. It's always a loft with like bare space. I don't know. But either way, hides the shorty, and he's able to convince Miguel to, look, let's go talk to your plug, because if we cut off the Serbs who's bothering you and bothering me, because obviously we didn't do a video, but as you should know if you're watching this, they burnt down the projects. So it's like, let's get him out of here. And he agrees. So he turned the situation that was supposed to be, basically end up in his demise, because we all know Miguel doesn't play about his sister, and he turns that into a victory for him and CBI. So more power to Tommy. But moving forward through the episode, Tommy's also still simultaneously going behind Miguel's back, because the bigger plan is obviously to be the sole plug of Chicago. That's Tommy's number one goal. But to do that, he has to make Miguel think that he's working in their both best interests, which currently he still is. It's just there's ulterior motives, obviously. And one of those ulterior motives is to get DSD, I forgot the exact name of the group, DSD, to agree with him, the Puerto Ricans to agree with him, shake hands so they can join the coalition that was started by CBI, because DSD was getting their drugs from the Serbs, but the Serbs ultimately, because Miguel convinced his plug to cut the Serbs off due to their misbehavior, now they have no choice because the plug is basically Miguel. So now Miguel is going to look to be this top head honcho guy, because he's supplying basically the whole of Chicago, South Side, North Side. You know what I'm saying? So he's about to look like the man. But yeah, Tommy put in a lot of work this episode, and a lot of things he got accomplished, which is great. But I just want to see, we're looking for the rollout. My question here is, what backlash is Tommy going to face? I feel like he hasn't faced any backlash yet. Like he's, you know what I'm saying? We'll get to the point where something did happen for Tommy that isn't good, but we'll get to that when we get there. All right, now we got Diamond. Diamond's episodes go pretty much about the same every time. There's still interesting storylines where they're just about the same thing that happens to him. Like he has a run-in with his PO or somebody. He has they try to make him make a decision between being his ultimate stand-up guy or being the hood, the dude that he knows and has grown up to be in CBI. So that's what happens here. He gets pressured by his PO because his PO pops up on him to do the P test. His PO is actually proud of him. You know what I'm saying? I thought we'd see a lot more of his parole officer. Sorry, I keep looking up TV's on. Sorry, but I thought we'd see more of the PO in the season because he seemed to come on very strong. Pause. But like he ended up honestly only being in like what a couple episodes thus far before prior to this one, and each one he's in there for like about 5 seconds and he's gone. But you know what I'm saying, they do the P test and he's proud of Diamond because Diamond's been the upstanding guy, and he's basically like, yo, like I want you to do a speech at the I forgot what the actual thing was, but it's some rally or opening or something like that. And Diamond didn't want to do the speech, but agrees to do the speech. But the PO's kind of trying to influence him, like, hey, like, look, we can be done with each other. We can be released off PO if you go up there and say, look, I renounce all these gang activities, CBI, all that. But Diamond stood 10 toes. That's not his life. He's never renouncing, what he built and what he came up on. That's just not happening. So fast forward, you know what I'm saying? He does the speech, but what happened in between that little fast forward was he checked in on Leon, because he's now a secondhand dad apparently, you know what I'm saying? And obviously he has feelings for the mom, and that's a little bit teased in that moment. But after the speech is where it gets real because, you know what I'm saying, he asked the mom out on a date, and typical Diamond fashion, Diamond gets the draws. He honestly didn't even work at all. Like the first shorty we seen him with, that's now he cut off from, she cut him off or whatever. The reporter shorty, she had to at least take her on a date. This girl came on him like pulled up with the trench coat, took it off. Like it doesn't get any easier for Diamond, like at all. It doesn't get any easier for this man, and I don't know why. Like it's that simple for him. But I guess maybe that's his arc, his story arc. It is what it is. Shout out to Diamond. No hate here. So now we're gonna dive into a separate part of the storyline that has nothing to do with what I just spoke about. We're going to talk about Claudia Flynn. Now, Claudia, and I guess we have to talk about these two in tandem. Claudia was approached by Shanti because Claudia originally gave this plan that she's going to work with Shanti on to Janard, and Janard dubbed it, obviously. But because Shanti believed that she was the better person to carry out this said plan, she goes and approaches Claudia. And Claudia is impressed, super impressed, you know what I'm saying? And Shanti's actually going to provide a much necessary part that I'll get into when we get into Shanti. But Claudia is the product, but she had no distro. So that's what Shanti's going to provide for her. I think what's something to look out for with Claudia is that new relationship she's in, because I feel like that girl, if it came down to it, will snitch or will leave her high and dry. I don't know what her intentions are. She hasn't done anything bad, but I don't know. She just seems shaky to me. Something about her character just seems shaky, and like she'd leave Claudia high and dry if it meant benefiting her own self. So, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, fast forward, they get into the club, which really just looks like a house. I guess this is what rich people do. They go to like big houses and party. They don't really go to the club, but they call it a club because it's a weird little sexually driven club or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. But either way, we see them girls they're moving the pills, so on and so forth. And you know what I'm saying? Claudia gets robbed, but then because Shanti's around, she has her, has her back. So Claudia is actually very optimistic about this partnership. All right. So couldn't find a picture of Shanti on the website yet, but this website has a little picture from this episode. Shanti, I guess now she's a gangster. I honestly thought, like, I get it, you the boxer chick, you accomplished so on and so forth, but I expected her to play more of a role of just Janard's girl than being like, the gangster, I want to be up in the game too kind of vibe. And it kind of switched, kind of flipped just like that. But I'm not mad at it yet. It's just a little bit rushed, but I get it. It's on 10 episodes. Can't really, you know what I'm saying? You only got but so much time. But yeah, so now she's a gangster, and she, like I said just now, she runs up on Claudia, tells her, Claudia, look, I'll be your distro, and you got the product, I'll be the distro. And it ends up working out. And it works out even better because not only is she the distro, but she's also the muscle because she can beat up men. So it's like Claudia doesn't even have to worry about getting robbed because As she got robbed in the club, Shanti went and had her back immediately. And on top of that, Shanti has good soldiers working for her. So it's like this works in tandem. So they can only grow from here. And it, you know what I'm saying? The thing with Shanti is Shanti did this behind Janard's back, and he obviously wasn't a fan of it, but that money is, looks like it's going to be just for her and Janard. So, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how that long that lasts. I don't see it lasting that long because it's going to conflict with what, CBI has going on eventually, somehow, some way down the road. All right, cool. So we're back. We got Janard. I don't want to stay here too long because it wasn't too much. But the big thing with Janard is he is in holding on some very powerful evidence. Obviously, we touched on and we knew from before Tommy and Maria have been hooking up. They're basically a serious item at this point. He ends up catching Tommy on camera in picture or video, whatever it was, and his plan was, I'm about to blow this up, put this out through the streets because Miguel don't play about his sister, blah, blah, blah. And luckily for Tommy, at least, Shanti says, nah, let's let him mess himself up. We're not even about to blast him and create that tension. Let's let Tommy blow himself up. Let him run into the wall. We're not even going to do it for him. And that seems to be the plan at the moment. Other underlying storyline is obviously, like I said before, Janard is a little frightened with what Shanti has going on because what she has going on could get him cut out from, CBI. Also, another underlying storyline is his battle with sobriety. Of course, he's, battling because if he is back on that stuff, he's out of CBI and probably going to get a bullet in his ass. So there's that. So that's what I got for Janard. Vic seems to not know if he's made it at this point in the episode, doesn't know if he's made the wrong decision. I think he's leaning more 60-40, I made the wrong decision and going to the feds about everything because I think he thought this is going to be a quick, hey, I'll tell you everything I know, give me full immunity, I'm out of here. But, Stacy ends up taking charge and saying, look, you're going to be my lackey. You're going to get me that information or I'm putting your ass in jail because you came here like a dunce. So now, because of that, he had to end up wearing a wire. And because he's wearing a wire, he's, transferring information. He's giving information to the dude. And they, stupidly keep trying to meet him in public, in person. As if Tommy's not outside, as if all these other dudes is not outside to see him and know who he is. So it comes down to a point in the episode where he has to return the wire and they have to meet in person for whatever reason. And he returns the wire, but Tommy caught on because Tommy knew something was just a little off. Follows them, sees them do the meetup because Tommy knew, we'll get into that, knew he was being followed by the feds for the better part of this episode because he's Tommy. He just is, he's just a step ahead of the game. That's why he hasn't been caught or been put in jail because he's just been a step ahead because he's smarter than everyone. So Tommy catches Vic in the act and he's like, Vic, who is this? And he's questioning Vic and Vic is like, I don't know this dude, deny. And the federal dude is just like, yo, Vic, what you doing? And Tommy's like, yo, if you want to prove that you don't know this dude, because I'm going to kill you and him, you got to put a bullet in him. And Vic barely hesitates and puts the bullet in him because Vic can't go down. This can't, being a snitch, and he also just doesn't want to die overall. So it's like, you got to go. I'm sorry, sir. So I'm interested to see the relationship between Vic and the federales going forward because, how are they going to hide that information? Who killed him? That's a lot to go on. And, Vic may have just lost his opportunity. So we'll see. There's a lot to unpack there. And last but not least, we got Stacy, who, again, like I always say, represents everybody, but also ultimately herself. She's under pressure from her higher-ups to provide some results. They banked millions into this to provide her with this task force to do what she wants to do. And the only thing that she really can say is that she has a CI who is Vic Flynn infiltrating that CPI. But that still hasn't gotten her much anyway, and she's under pressure to provide results. So because of that, she's succumbing to the pressure, making hasty moves. Like I said, got Vic wearing the wire, and all these meetings in person, and what I'm saying. She's rushing the task at hand, even though it probably would work best if she played the long game. But neither here nor there. Also, the guy she had, he's been getting caught by Tommy following him. They can see him. He saw him, and that's what ends up in the death of Homeboy, because it just was a sloppy job. It was too easy for Tommy to seek it out. So, what I'm saying, like I said before when we talk about Vic, I'm interested to see what becomes of that relationship between Vic and the feds, because somebody has died at this point. So I don't know. It's up in the air. I don't know. Y'all leave y'all suggestions of what y'all think is going to happen, because this relationship seems to be tarnished, in my opinion. But with that being said, that's all I have for Power Force episode 7 of season 2. And make sure you hit that like button. If you hit that subscribe button. If you watch the whole video, I thank you so much. Leave a comment below. Like I said, if you have anything to say, any thought popping in your head, pause the video, leave a comment. I respond to all the comments. But with that being said, we're out of here. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't